universe, huge world.
So welcome everyone to this first week of August, Tuesday the 2nd of August. It is my birth week, so it's a special week for me. But I think it's also a special week for everyone, and I'll explain why. So just to welcome you all and to say I've got my ginger in my water, which I'm addicted to the ginger in the water at the moment. It just feels very warming and nourishing, and it's delicious. And it can make a little bit of a tingle on your lips. And then the oil I'm going to use today is my precious rose oil, which is my oil of divine love, and my oil that connects me to God. And I put it over my heart space, or your higher power, whoever you connect with. But it's such a beautiful and powerful oil for meditation and for connection, and so you'll understand why as we go. And I've got my lovely little diffuser with some elevation in it. So just because I know many of you are oil users, as we're doing this breast health challenge that's just started, which is such a lovely challenge, and I actually started watching the little class that that Theonian and Juliet had done, and I actually screenshot it and sent it to our daughter Pippa, who is 16, because it's such a difficult time where you're so judgmental of your own body and things. And sorry, let me just turn this off. And I just thought there was such wisdom and such power in it, and there's such power in this community of women coming together to look after ourselves very deeply in our breast space, our heart space. It's a very, I put on my oils this morning, and as I inhaled them, it was so grounding. It was just like this, whew, like, because it's frankincense, clove, pink pepper, and frankincense, clove, pink pepper, and wild orange. So grounding, but lifting at the same time. So, and these are just two of the quotes that have come through on the group so far. And they just tie into what we're going to be talking about today. I can't think of any better representation of beauty than someone who is unafraid to be herself. That's Emma Stone. And you are more powerful than you know. You are beautiful just as you are. Melissa Etheridge. So those are important reminders for us. It's not too late to join if you would like to join the breast health challenge. It's all just around creating health in the space using our oils and bringing conscious energy to our breast massage. And there's a lovely introductory class that you can watch too, which is an hour, that will tell you more about it. You can see then if you want to join it. And then next week, Thursday, I'm actually going to be teaching a women's health class online with Theoni, covering all sorts of women health issues and oils, touching a little bit on stuff that I talk about in my feminine wisdom courses as well. So if anyone would like to join, it's open to people who've already got oils and others as well. I'll be putting out the invitation hopefully today. So last week was our new moon in Leo. And when I listened to Pam Gregory, also screenshot some of that and sent it to Mum and to my feminine wisdom group and things. But and as Pam Gregory says, I've got no idea about these things, but it's expanded by Jupiter because of this very positive trine that's there with Jupiter and Aries, I think, and Leo. And Jupiter is the planet of optimism and positivity and hope, and it's a very visionary, future-orientated planet. And there's a huge potential for heart and love expansion. She says it's in the planets, this heart and love expansion. And like for us in South Africa, this is Women's Month, kind of, because of Women's Day on Tuesday. So there's a lot of focus on this, and it's just interesting that it's this connection again with heart and love. And then she says that Jupiter is in Aries, and when she thinks about the word sovereignty, the two planets, or the two signs, she says would be Aries, which is I am and I exist, and Leo, which is I let my light shine. So as I said, Women's Day is in August, and those women that we celebrate on Women's Day, from the Women's March that they had on 9th of August many years ago, those women let their light shine, and they really did change and alter things. And so let's do that again. And as I said, Jupiter is apparently in Aries. So I take how this feeds me and how this nourishes me. I don't know much about astrology, but it's actually one of the only things that's making sense now. And my Aunt Ellen keeps encouraging me on this journey. So Aries is a warrior, it's pioneering, it's finding the hero within yourself. It's never the victim. And it's standing strongly in your power and in your center. And so again, this is what we're wanting to do in this time, but with our heart energy and our love energy, is to find the hero within ourselves. So it's so tied into our poem from today. And we're seeing this so much in stuff that we're going through also with our family. So just is so connected. So the moon waxes from here, from the new moon, it waxes to the full moon, which is another super moon on the 12th of August. And before that, we have the Lion's Gate on the 8th of August, 8/8. So I know very little about this, but these are portals and they're times for setting intentions and invoking things for your life. And so it's not necessarily about having a prescriptive list of this is what I want and this is how it must look and this is now. It's really about inviting in what's positive for us and what is our highest possible outcome. That for me is a very comforting prayer, just bringing in the highest possible outcome from the situation, because it might not be what we think it is. We have a very limited vision, we have a very limited knowledge, and so we look for the highest possible outcome. So this little screenshot of Pam Gregory in her talk about, this was about the new moon in Leo. She talked about Leo being very much heart energy and linked to the heart, and reminded us, and I teach this again on my feminine wisdom courses, that the heart, the electromagnetic frequency of the heart is 5,000 times greater than that of the brain. So we all think that this is where it happens, but this is where it happens. And she quoted Dr. Andrew Armour, and my mum and I have followed Greg Braden for years, and they talk about the same stuff, that they're showing that there are 40,000 brain neurons actually in the heart, that there are actually brain neurons in our heart. And so this is the little brain. But actually we think that this is the bigger brain. It's where your emotional intelligence sits. It's where your heart-based intelligence sits, as opposed to just rational intelligence. And the practice we're going to do today is going to show you how powerful this is, so much more than this. So the more we can drop into coherence by stepping into feelings of love, of joy, of gratitude, of connection, of peace, those sort of feelings, every cell in our body becomes coherent. So this is the work of the HeartMath Institute. They're an amazing nonprofit organization based in the US, but they do research globally, and they do incredible scientific research about the effects of reaching the state and what it does to our bodies. And we'll talk about that. But every cell becomes coherent, which is really good for our health. And we can expand this electromagnetic field around our heart. And actually, we do have an energetic field around us at all times. And I mean, I used to hear at school about people could read your auras, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so freaky. But actually, we all have an aura or an energetic field that we take with us. And we can feel it when we really do tune in. And so this electromagnetic field, heart field, we can infect everyone we come into contact with, but with this loving coherence. And it's a sense energy, it's unconscious, but we can't help but pick up someone's energy. So animals sense it, and that's why they want to be with us when we're in this state. So that's why, going back to what Richard and Ellen were saying, that's why the animals all want to be with them when they're even just when we're chatting and connecting together. So it doesn't have to be in a meditative state. They want to be, because they can sense that energy. And then when we're in a state of meditation, they often want to be with us or on us, or that's why Shadow is with us so often. And I've seen it in my feminine wisdom circles. Shadow wants to be there. I've seen it. I was at a lunch the other day and we did some breath work stuff, and the dog, there was some folding stack back doors, and the dog literally pushed open those doors to get in, to be with us. And he just lay on the floor. He didn't want to disrupt. He was just wanted to be there, to bathe in it. Seen it in Bible study, so many different places where animals just want to be where you are in that state. and HeartMath talk about amazing experiences. So this is why also people on horses is so powerful, because as a therapeutic tool, because horses help us to regulate this coherence. So that's why they're using more and more horses for therapy with children who are dysregulated, because horses are so big, they hold such a big energy that the children can regulate to their energy rather than the horse become dysregulated by the child's energy. And Mum went years ago when our Pips was still a baby and I was living in the UK, so Pips was less than a year. She went to this a Breath of Life conference, and she listened to what they were all the speakers like Gabor Mate and Bessel van der Kolk and stuff, and she was presented to about the heart rate variability and there's a little Inner Balance Timer and the HeartMath Institute all long before this. I mean, this is 15 years ago, and she sort of came back in this way. I learned so much of this from Mum, who's on this. Thank you, Mum. And they gave an example that they'd done a little research project on a boy and his dog, and they were both wired up so they could check their electromagnetic frequencies and things, and they were in separate rooms, and the boy was instructed to go into the room and not to touch the dog, but just to go into a state of coherence by breathing. They taught him, I think, I can't remember whose son it was, but taught him how to do this breathing and how to do this, bringing this feeling of love and gratitude. Here comes Shadow. And so they were both a bit dysregulated, and we go into we often in a state of slight dysregulation. We're going about our day, we're busy, there's a lot on, but especially if we've had a fight or we've had a difficult situation or a confrontation, we go very dysregulated, and in fact it can last for hours. Even if we think that that is over or that altercation is over, we stay in this dysregulated state. Anyway, so the boy and the dog were slightly dysregulated, and he came and he wasn't allowed to touch him, and he sat there and he just breathed and he did this whole connection with his dog. And within just a couple of moments or minutes, the boy and the dog's heart rate variability became in coherence and became aligned. And this is the power of it. So when we teach this at schools, I teach the girls and the boys that often we want to help our friend if they seem distressed, and we want to, what's wrong, can we help? But if you really want to help, just either sit with them and do this breathing and go into the state, just sending them love or gratitude. Or if we're feeling far away from someone, if we're worried about someone or a situation, we can be at home and we can just do this little practice that we're going to do today, bringing them into our heart space, and we can affect their energy and the world's energy by doing this. So it's really powerful. So and we infect not just someone else's energy who's close to us, we infect, I like the word infect because it's a nice infection, infect the collective energy with coherent, we infect the collective with coherent energy. So we're going to do the practice shortly. And physiologically, it instantly drops our cortisol and stress hormones. It decreases our blood pressure. It expands our oxytocin, which is just, and our nitric oxide, which are our feel-good hormones, and they're just the ones that our body works so much better when we have these hormones. It boosts our immune system, whereas fear depletes it, and creates this coherent energy. And for me, when I'm in the state, I also talk about this as being like our feminine flow. This is when we are in our feminine flow, when we connect it to our heart coherence, and life just works so much better and so much easier. And it's just, so Pam Gregory says that out there in the 3D world, things are going to be pretty wild and incoherent and all over the show. But this is an inside job. So we can keep our coherence inside. We're the ones we've been waiting for. So I record now, as you know, all these sessions, and I put them onto my website, and I'm starting to try and put also some links and stuff to things I mentioned. So I'll link Pam Gregory's fuller talk for any of you who'd like to hear it. But now I just invite you into a moment of stillness to follow the sounds of the gong, and just to take a few breaths and just to softly exhale, perhaps closing your eyes, dropping your gaze to the earth in front of you. Just allowing yourself to land in this moment, to come out of your headspace where we've been listening and internalizing, and just coming into your body, allowing energy to settle, perhaps even drawing it down to your feet. The conscious feeling of grounding on the earth, grounding in your seat. As you listen to this and just let it land. You have been telling the people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell the people that this is the hour. And there are things to be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to speak your truth. Create your community. Be good to each other. And do not look outside yourself for the leader. And then he clasped his hands together, smiled, and said, this could be a good time. There is a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who are afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel they are torn apart and will suffer greatly. Know that the river has a destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above water. And I say, see who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and our journey comes to a halt. The time for the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So just allowing this to land as we balance between earth and sky. You're feeling grounded, connected to earth, but also feeling uplifted and expanded by the heavens. Balancing between the two, noticing our body, how it responds, perhaps noticing if there's a jump or a jolt, just seeing it, breathing into it, and allowing it to settle. Feet on the earth, body on the cushion or chair, head and shoulders lifting towards the sky. Now bringing your attention to your breath, noticing this breath, this next breath. Breathing in through your nose, allowing that breath to drop into your lungs, your belly, your heart space. And then a slow softening and letting go. Letting go of control, of knowing what is right for us, of thinking we know, and just allowing the highest possible outcome for all of us. And now consciously bringing your breath to your heart space, as if you are actually just breathing directly in and out of your heart space. Allowing the breath to breathe you. Noticing the pause between the breaths. And using those pauses to allow yourself just to drop that much deeper into each breath. And then inviting a feeling of gratitude into your heart space as you breathe. Perhaps bringing to mind a person or pet or child, or otherwise a place where you feel most at peace. Inviting this image into your heart space and just holding it there and offering a feeling of gratitude. Breathing in and out this gratitude and surrounding this image in a bubble in your heart space. Don't overthink who or where or how, just holding whatever comes to mind. Offering a feeling of gratitude, offering a feeling of connection. And then allowing that image to drift off and another to take its place, another person, another pet, another place. Offering thanks. Pausing for this moment of connection. And if you haven't already, then shifting to someone else. Again, just let someone randomly pop into your head, something to arise in your heart. And just holding that line of connection and of gratitude, of love. Perhaps you want to invite the image of someone who's having a hard time. Offering them your love and support, your connection. We often feel so helpless in these situations, and yet this is something powerful we can do, and we offer up the highest possible outcome for them. And perhaps there's someone else who's also having a hard time, inviting an image of them to arise in your heart space. Cocooning them in this love and connection, supporting them at the deepest level. And then letting that go, and just other images arising. Can be someone you know and love deeply. Can be someone that you know just from day to day, a shopkeeper, a barista, a security guard. Maybe someone we don't deeply acknowledge but actually are grateful for. Someone who serves us, who looks after us in some sort of way. Perhaps people from our past who have influenced us, grandparents or great-grandparents, perhaps teachers, someone who supported you, who gave you courage and belief in yourself. perhaps someone who by their work of writing or their words of speaking, perhaps someone public or someone close to you, has also influenced you and supported you, and they may not even know you. And now letting go of any images or pictures and just sensing this feeling of love and gratitude, connection in our heart space. Noticing if it has a color or weight, texture. And just inviting it to gently expand through your body. Noticing where it can expand to, noticing if it reaches the surface of your skin, and noticing even perhaps it permeates beyond your physical boundary of your skin. Perhaps it reaches out and touches the world around you. Offering a feeling of gratitude for ourselves right now in this moment, that we are here, that we have shown up for ourselves, that we are more powerful than we can imagine. You have been telling the people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell the people that this is the hour. And there are things to be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to speak your truth. Create your community. Be good to each other, and do not look outside yourself for the leader. Then he clasped his hands together and smiled and said, "This could be a good time. There is a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel they are torn apart and will suffer greatly. Know the river has its destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above water. And I say, see who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time for the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been looking for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So holding this close to your heart space, knowing that we have the power to affect the world, our immediate close community, and the greater world in the most profound ways. And to live in flow and in synchronicity and intuition. Just allowing this to sink in as we slowly awaken to the outside world. So just when you're ready, opening your eyes, taking in the colors, the light, patterns around you, faces, names on the screens, Thank you for being here. Lovely to see you all and to share this moment with you. Next week, Tuesday, is in fact Women's Day, and I'll probably be in the Drakensberg for just a night or two. And so I think we'll all have a slow day, a pause to and enjoy a slow start. So I won't be presenting a mindful moment next Tuesday, but you're welcome to go on to my website and see some of the recordings that are there and do one of those. They're all posted there. And then I'll see you the next week, the 16th of August. But I will still be away. I'll be in St. Francis. And so I will do 1 or 2 mindful moments, but I'll also pause 1 or 2 in this time of August. I'm going to hold myself gently, and but there's still always our connection in other ways. So thank you all, and God bless, and I wish you a blessed day, and noticing how powerful our connections and our energy is. Thanks for the messages. You're welcome to unmute and speak of your experience, or share your experience or thoughts, or just to, if you need to rush off, please feel free to go. Thank you for.
Thanks, Nix. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Sal.
Have a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it today, Nikki?
No, it's on Thursday, the 4th.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday for Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Didi. You are in the Netherlands. Well, thank you for coming. It was so nice to have you, and sending you love and connection there, and know that you're still very close to our hearts.
Thanks, Nix. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been good so far. Soft landing. So I'm happy.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, much love, and stay connected to us and keep us
Thank
posted.
you. I will.
Come whenever you can. So lovely to have you.
I will. Thanks, Nix.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks, Angina. Lovely to have you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks, Ellen.
See you soon.
What's that?
I said I'll see you soon.
Yes, see you soon, and enjoy all the animals around you. I'm sure they're all nice and calm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks, Nix. Bye.
Thanks, Ellen. Bye.
Bye, Pam.
Thanks and bye.
Bye, Ellen.
Thanks,
And-
Ruth.
And a
Thanks
happy
for a lovely sunrise. How
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
So bless you. Have a lovely day. And take
Thanks,
care.
Richard. Take care. And Norma, nice to see you too. I didn't see you online earlier.